Let's talk about it. Fundamental dating tips that every single woman, regardless of whether you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, or even your 70s, need to know when it comes to dating for marriage. These tips are regardless of your age because there are some fundamental, foundational basics that every woman should be aware of in order to successfully date for marriage and prepare yourself to be able to ensure that you actually date well for marriage. And the first thing is to know thyself. A woman who doesn't know herself actually has no business dating for marriage. Knowing yourself means knowing who you are, what you like, what you enjoy doing. And before you worry about being in a relationship, dating for marriage, you need to spend time cultivating who you are. Do you enjoy going to the theatre? Do you enjoy going to the arts? Do you enjoy the tennis? Do you enjoy sport? Are you someone who actually prefers walking? Do you enjoy squash? Do you enjoy badminton? Are you a hiker? What do you enjoy doing? Do you even actually like eating out, or are you more of a homebody who enjoys eating food at home? Where do you like to travel? Are you a city break girl? Are you a beach girl? This is so important because what often happens in dating is women change themselves because they haven't actually got fundamental basics of who they are. You don't even like hiking, and all of a sudden, because a man is on the scene, you're hiking every Sunday. Darling, be for real. Be for real. It's so important to know thyself because it allows you to then put yourself in a position where you're equally yoked. Let's say, for instance, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do any of that. I would have no business dating for a marriage a man who does that. Like, no thank you. It's just not an option. I also will have a particular standard of holiday I like doing. I like 5-star luxury hotels. I will have no business dating for marriage a man who likes camping. I also value certain things like loyalty, trust, kindness. I will have no business dating a man who doesn't actually demonstrate those things. You need to know what character traits are important, who you are, what you stand for, and what you believe in. And this has to be rooted in God. I firmly believe many women don't know themselves because they haven't allowed God to complete themselves. You must allow God to complete you because in doing so, you are going to put yourself in a position whereby your value and standards of what you require in knowing yourself is going to be completely higher. You are going to stop yourself from settling for crumbs. This is very, very important. Women who don't know themselves are women who are also willing to tolerate and accept the bare minimum because they haven't set a high standard for themselves. And on a practical level, you have to cultivate spending time with yourself. You also have to cultivate spending time with your maker. He will chisel you so your standards are raised. And this is so important. The second thing in dating for marriage tips is when you know God, I personally think there are 3 fundamental God rules that you need to stick to when it comes to dating for marriage. And you go against these rules at your own peril. Number 1 is sex. Take it off the table. Take it off the table. There is no way the Most High, your Father, is going to send you a man who is going to be demanding that you sleep with him on the first date, the second date, the third date, the fourth date, 1 month in, 2 months in. That isn't going to be a thing. If you immediately want to know whether that man has been sent to you by God, take sex off the table. You will know who has sent him. Your Father isn't going to send you a man who isn't going to be able to obey that rule. I promise you that. The second aspect of this, I think, when it comes to dating for marriage, it's so important not to rewrite the rule of a man must provide. Unfortunately, when it comes to the 21st century, people think the rules of God are completely different and they've been rewritten. The rules of God haven't been rewritten. If you put yourself in a position whereby you want to be the load bearer, you want to be paying 80% of the bills, you want to be doing 50-50, you will suffer. You will suffer. It is so important to stick to the rules of God. He has written them so that you can find rest. I always say, Naomi says to Ruth in the book, go and find rest in your husband's house. If that man isn't demonstrating to you that what is on the table is you finding rest in his house, how can he be sent from God? If you're going to be the load bearer, if you're going to have to be the egg that swims down to the sperm, contrary to biology, contrary to what God has written, don't sign up for it. If you have to be the person that does the heavy lifting in the relationship, don't sign up for it. And again, with this thing, these principles, you're able to uphold them. You're able to stick by your boundaries when you truly know your value. A woman shouldn't really go into dating if she doesn't have a strong foothold in her value and her worth. Because let me tell you something, darlings. There is always going to be someone that comes along in life, whether that be in relationships, in business, in life in general, who wants to actually test whether or not you are going to lower the price, whether or not you're going to compromise your values, whether or not they can give you crumbs. When they give you crumbs, you need to say, no. I only eat the loaf like Jesus gave me the loaf. I will not be settling for crumbs. This is so important. Another one of God's rules that are important when it comes to dating for marriage, whatever age you are, is to understand the notion of you will know them by their fruits. That man's character, from the beginning of time, God has not rewritten the rules. Just because it's the 21st century and there are some men, not all men, running around like absolute maniacs on the streets, treating women so badly, does not mean that you settle. Never put yourself in a position where you think maybe God is testing you with a cheater. Maybe God is testing you with a liar. God isn't going to test you with a man that he detests. God is not going to send to you a man that is a cheater when adultery is a sin. God isn't going to send to you a man who is a prolific liar. And it's important, again, this goes back to value. You have no woman has a business dating if she is not solid in her value. Because what will happen is you will put yourself in a position where you'll become Sister Fix a Man, Mary Fix a Man. Sister Mary, come and fix a man. That will be the role that you play. And you will think that you are meant to bring this man closer to God and help him. No. You're not meant to fix the adulterer and the cheater. You're not meant to fix the liar. Yes, by all means, pray for that person. But your role isn't to come and cry and suffer as the daughter of the Most High, fixing that man. Absolutely not. This is really key. And this ties on to the notion of, do you have solid boundaries? Do you have solid boundaries? I do not recommend to any woman to date for marriage if your nay isn't nay and your yay isn't yay. If you cannot stand by your words, like my house rules are tight. My house rules are tight. If you cannot stand by your words, I don't take calls past 8 p.m. And if you're going to flake on those words, you're not ready, because you need to hold tight on your boundaries. You need to hold tight to your yays and your nays. And you know whether this is a thing by everyday life, because people will come and say and see whether or not you're willing to compromise on those boundaries. I would also encourage you, if you do want to start dating for marriage, darlings, you need to be outside. You need to be outside. I also find it hilarious when women say, I want to get married. I want to look for a relationship. What does your social diary look like? Your social diary needs to be one that fundamentally, you're not having a social diary because of a man. That's just wild work. You're having a social diary because you're living and enjoying your life. And if you're not at the point whereby you're living and enjoying your life and you're not outside, that should be your fundamental focus. Like, what hobbies do you have? Do you go to tennis once a week? Do you have a book club? Do you even go for things like go for a massage? Like, what are your hobbies? Do you go for a walk outside? It's so important. Like, have some dilly-dallying hobbies, things that fill you with pleasure, even things that are involved in your home. This is really key, because I tell you what can happen. It is so easy as a woman to compromise on your hobbies and put a man first. On this earth, the only person that comes first is God, then you. God, then you. God, then you. When you don't have anything going for yourself, and you don't have purpose, you don't have hobbies, you don't have passion, it is the wrong time to be dating. Fundamentally, by putting God first and having hobbies and having things that you actually have going on about your life, you stop yourself from idolizing that man. You stop yourself from putting that man on a pedestal. One of my life rules is God is my only rock, because God can never let me down. And any man that's been gifted to me is from God. And in God gifting him to me, he can't be above God. I can't idolize him. I also want to encourage you to understand, you idolize a man whereby every call that he makes, every text message that he does, everything that he says, you drop what you have going on for you. And this is why you have to make sure that you have your life together first before you actually contemplating dating for marriage. What does your life look like? What does your bank account look like? Are you fulfilled and happy? Because if you're looking for fulfillment outside of you, it's always going to be a letdown. It is always going to be a letdown. The first fulfillment has to be God, and then you need to find fulfillment in looking good, making money, having your ish all the way together. Get yourself all the way together, because I'm telling you what, women who lose in marriage are women who lose themselves. Women who let themselves go, women who put on weight, women who don't look after themselves, because guess what? They've put that man on a pedestal and they're the second-class citizens in their life. You should not put yourself in a position for dating if you're going to make yourself a second-class citizen. I can only really stress the best way to make sure you do not become a second-class citizen in your life is by prioritizing God. For me personally, when you prioritize God, you are going to do all the things that make you you. And you are not going to joke with yourself. There is no way on this earth God can be your centerpiece and you neglect yourself. It's actually spiritually impossible. So for me, I think it's so important, if you are looking to date for marriage, get to know yourself, also get outside, because faith without works is dead, and you're getting outside because you actually have a busy social diary and you are that girl and you have things going on about yourself, and just enjoy it. Dating should be something pleasurable. By the way, take away all expectations that that man is your husband. Take away all expectations that that man is your husband, and you keep the ship going until it's confirmed. You are also single until married. You are single until married. There are no wife benefits. There are no benefits to that man if he is not your husband. You move on this earth like single until married, until it is absolutely locked down. Because many women start to put themselves in a position where they take themselves off the market, and you are letting a boyfriend who could potentially put you in a situationship, because I don't believe in relationships. It's either you're single or married, and everything else is a situationship, who could put you in a situationship for 3 years, and your husband, you have somehow missed him and neglected him because you were busy in a situationship. So, by all means court, by all means enjoy dating, but understand, until there is a ring and you are Mrs. MRS, you are actually single.